Hello, Internet. Every now and again, I Google my name just because I'm curious. I don't know what's out there, what's being said about me, if anything. I mean, I'm not nearly popular enough, which is totally fine. That happens often, but every now and again, someone does post something, and it just so happened, like like for the first time in months, probably was like, I should Google my name, and just the day before, someone wrote an article, and I'm looking at this. I mean, there's two thoughts. One is, why is my name mentioned? But also, oh, I see why my name is mentioned. It was, I guess I was more surprised that I was like by my full legal name mentioned in this article. Well, I guess my middle name's not present. Um, so I made a Lexi-Cross clone several years ago called Word by Word. It's on Steam, which I was sorry I'm finding. Here it is, Word by Word. Two whole reviews. You can see how popular it was. It's fine. I just make games for fun. I'm not trying to make a living, so it's all good. Um, but it's based on this game, and I did it because I loved this game as a kid. I grew up playing this game, Lexicross. It's super weird. Um, Truly nothing else like it, other than the three or four things that it is mashing together. But yeah, what a unique and bizarre game. Look at these. What is this weird boob glass metal lady? I don't know. We've got a fun three-eyed alien. Some people really liked it. And it was very fun. If we search for my name, here I am. I released my own. So yeah, it's been hard to find anyone that remembers Lexicross. It turns out that not only did someone remember it, they developed and released their own updated version on Steam called Word by Word. Which also, yeah, why did I choose to do that? I don't know. I mean, honestly, there's like a little bit of like the because they're not using the right. It's a time symbol, not an X, and this is where. But I don't know. People who care too much will say it's not XXX holic. It's holic. You don't say those. They're not X's. They're time symbols. I don't know why. Also, it sounds like that should be like a dirty thing, but it's not. I don't know why they decided three times symbols that look like X's that everyone wants to say triple X, but that's not what it is. Um, anyway, that's an anime. It doesn't matter. It seems like Japanese they like thrown in hearts and stars and crosses and things into their titles just to be fun, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, I decided to do that for word by word. It's not next. It's time symbol. It doesn't matter. Why are we talking about this? So anyway, having seen this, I don't know. I was just like blown away. I was like, what? What? Like the timing was insane. I was like, okay, I have to do a couple things. I'm gonna release an updated version of Word by Word, so I did update it. Added a few more puzzles, made it so that it will. I updated a bunch of like third-party libraries to make sure that it'll still run, on computers for years to come. Because eventually, I mean, Windows is very good about backwards compatibility. I don't know about Linux so much. So, and this game is available on Windows and Linux. But anyway, I updated those libraries. Also, I haven't tested the Linux build in a long time. I don't have a Linux. I do have a Linux machine again. I can test it. I'll do that. But also, I put the game on sale. Yay, 50% off. Um, Go pick yourself up a coffee copy. I also this thing Buzzer Blog has a Blue Sky account, and they tweeted about this article, or I guess you don't call tweeting it on Blue Sky. I don't know what you call it. I don't use any social media, and I guess do you still call them tweets on X, whatever, who cares? I don't know, but I hadn't made a Blue Sky account. So I made one just so I could comment on their thing and say, oh my God, thank you for mentioning me. Have fun. Um, I forget exactly what I said. You can find it if you want. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. So I thought I would talk about first. I just wanted, I mean, first, I guess. I'm a bad salesperson. I'm about to be a worse salesperson. Go buy my game. It's 50% off. How exciting. If you want to play a funny old pixel word puzzle game. You can play it against a friend. You can play it against a computer. Do you have any pictures showing against a friend? Nope. Didn't bother to get a screenshot of that. Well, it is a feature. Um, I'll also talk about problems with my game. Actually, we can see one of them right here because you can make your own character, but I allowed some hairstyles. These are important buttons. Why did I allow this to happen? This was a mistake. There's some mistakes in this game. It's fine. Um, Also, though, one person left a negative review where they thought it was not fine. Which again, I'm not trying to make a bunch of money. Yeah, the game's got some funny little issues. Um, but yeah, I thought I would show you the original game, Lexicross. I've got it on DOS emulator. I've had it for a long time. We can play it out. So I won't show you the screenshots. Let's just play it. Oops, they're playing the Steam is starting to autoplay their videos. So let me open up DOSBox here. DOSBox is a wonderful emulator if you want to play old DOS games. I've got like a few games from my childhood that I almost never play. unless moments like this. So we're gonna play Lexi-Cross. I think I also have Commander Keen. Is that gonna be in here, or is it just Keen? I don't know. And a capture the flag game that I had. So, which I think I did a video about this before. I still have like the copy I bought in middle school, which is incredible to me. But I've saved that from computer to computer. But anyway, let's play Lexi-Cross. Nope, Lexi-Cross. Yep, and it's just Lex. And take a look at what this looks like. Um, that might be That might be some evidence of software piracy right there, is what that might be. I don't know where I downloaded this online. I mean, I don't think it's sold anymore, is the thing. And I did reach out to the guy. So the guy who made this game, I didn't realize until I read this article that he's kind of a, I don't know, he's worked at like big companies and stuff. I mean, besides Lexicross, I didn't know anything about him, but I reached out to him when I made my game. I was like, hey, I loved your game as a kid. I made a clone, have a free Steam copy. He's like worked for Mattel and shit. Like he doesn't have time for me, which is fine. Again, it's all fine. But yeah, I did love his game, so I gave him a free copy. I doubt he ever played it. It's okay. Um, but yeah, I loved this game as a kid. So let's do the on the air. And this game, and what this article is about is, I guess this guy's big into, whoever wrote this article, who I should thank by the way for mentioning me, James Key. It loves game show games, and right. I mean that's what the whole title of the article is about. Um, and this game does have a very strong game show feel. I mean, first we're in the also I love how she turns her head. She just looks, oh, it's a human face. Nope, she's got a robot face. They do this funny thing where they look up your character. And I want to know if this is that they had to do this because DOS computers are slow and they literally were going item by item and they turned it into some quote unquote fun UI, or if they were just doing it for fun UI. Also, I think it's interesting how they integrated the dialogue on the screen. Yep, that's what I look like, apparently. Yep, that's fine. You can change their head, each arm individually, so you can be asymmetrical, which is kind of fun. I did different, we'll see the options in my game. I have a character builder. A lot of these things, again, whoops, sorry, hitting my microphone with my gesticulating to no one. Um, yeah, I copied a lot of elements and put my own spin on them. Um, Including some of the game mechanics are different as well in my clone. I do like the theme song. I honestly prefer it coming out of the PC speaker compared to the this like Sound Blaster emulations. It's so funny. Like back then, computers like maybe you had a sound card in your computer, maybe not. Like that's insane. All motherboards just have. I mean, by modern standards, right? Every motherboard now has a decent sound card built in, but that wasn't always the case. And you had to configure the things like configuring games to use Sound Blaster was kind of a pain. It's a whole thing. He's got his funny jokes. He's gonna talk for a bunch. Oh, good, I can press enter. But first, let's meet our Lexi-Cross contestants. Wait, what did he say for a woman? Wait, what did he say? Was there some like problematic 90s shit? Hold on. Class 2 communication coined the phrase e pluribus enum. Yep, I don't think that's about enum. There's my programmer brain replacing words with different words. Something about eloping with a toaster. Right, we've got a randomly generated robot opponent. I didn't do like the occupation and random interesting. They do a lot more jokes in this game that like, I don't know, they're more like cute by modern standards. And again, I'm curious to see what that one he said where I was like, is that problematic by modern standards? But I just chose not to try and have any kind of jokes in my game. But the jokes, I mean, there's character to it, right? Like it's good to have some humor, even if it's bad humor. It gives something fun. This I have noticed when they're generating the board, that's definitely them filling time while it generates the board because sometimes it goes for a really long time. Like all the board has filled in but it's still going and you're like, "Oh, their algorithm is still going." I would guess just based on how long sometimes it has taken, I wonder if they're trying to build a board totally discarding it because it didn't work. Um, and then having to start over again, which to be fair, my game does too. At some point it says, "Nah, this board's not going to work." So what am I doing right now? What is this game? You're revealing letter tiles. This part feels a little battleshipy. This is where like they've mashed together a bunch of different game concepts. So, um, right, you can imagine I'm looking for the ships in Battleship. But it's not just about finding these gray tiles. These are letter tiles. I'm kind of building a Wheel of Fortune board, although the words um, can be more chaotically arranged than on a Wheel of Fortune board. Um, but these are words. And once I don't have to reveal all of them, just as many as I feel good about, then I can spin the little wheel here to try and get points. But you only get points for the letters that are revealed Um, you know, God, if that makes sense. The whole game is like confusing to explain, which part of why I'm sure it wasn't super popular. It's just like a very awkward game, and then I went and made a clone that is arguably in some ways better, right? In some ways worse. Um, or I didn't polish the UI as much as I should have. Other things like that. I mean, partly like even little animations, like having that thing where the name goes and the that's you have to program that. That's just something you have to program. And I was like, I'm not taking the time. And I think when you reveal, God, the timer. This game has a timer also. Yeah, I like those little animations, polish when the tile recedes into the distance or does a little flip or these little blip, 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 blip animations. I think I did a couple of those. My game has a lot less of that kind of polish, mainly because it takes time. I'm also just not an artist. I would say like I do okay, but I'm not a professional artist, and it shows in the things that I make. Um, my art skills are very limited. It's one thing I've loved about AI, controversial as it is. For me as a creator, I love it because it allows me to do things I could never have done before at a higher quality than I could have done. Um, Word by Word was made before generative AI was going nuts, so it doesn't have any AI content. I mean, it would have had some of the early AI autocomplete code programming stuff that for some reason people don't get that worried about generative AI making code for whatever reason with the artists. I don't know. It's funny how programmers versus artists respond, even though I feel like the impact is the same. In my company, we're not going to hire more programmers. We're not laying people off, but yeah, we'll hire business people first because the programming can be done by AI. So yeah, it 100% affects everyone. Do you want to use one of your safety tokens? No. So yeah, you've probably seen all this other stuff coming up. Oh, sorry, I got a vowel tile, but I'm talking too much. I haven't used it in the upper left there. My mouse cursor is apparently hidden right now. So we could choose a vowel. That's not a great time to. Okay, there was one E, but again, it's only on what letters you. Okay, now so okay, I don't have to do it again. That's nice, but if I hadn't had any E tiles revealed and I picked the E, they'd say, "Sorry, no E's. Your turn is over. You wasted your turn." So you really want to have more letters revealed. Same for spinning. And for spinning, you get points, and you're only going to get points for the letters that are on the board that you have revealed, not the hidden ones, right? The ones that are still hidden. Oh, wow. Also, I'm surprised. Oh, he's got a vertical word over there, too. Yeah, I'll use my thing just so I can keep going with this word. I don't know. But yeah, there can be, whoops, vertical words. I just haven't happens to reveal any. Wow. Let's check this edge of the board, though. Is that I get to reveal? This is always awful because I have to memorize. I saw some things. Okay, I put my fingers on the. I think here, here, here. Something was up here. Oh, there's a minus. I mean, obviously there's some. Well, there's also nothing spots that you can reveal. And I feel like there might have been things on the bottom. I'm gonna try the bottom three because I think it went way too fast for me. So in my game, because I always struggle with that part. Oh, and they revealed something interesting. Because I always struggle memorizing those, like the whole columns. I made my game do 3x3s for whatever reason. I think just because it's less space. Okay. Oh, interesting. I will. What was here? They get to reveal a row, and the computer's gonna have perfect memory. Um, I don't know. For whatever reason, I mean, I think it's fewer tiles to memorize, but having it in a tiny square is easier for me. So anyway, in my game, you reveal a 3x3 block, not a whole row or column. Also, something else about the rows and columns. Um, it's harder to tell here because they made these tall rectangles. Each board looks like a square, but they are more letters wide than they are tall. Um, let's spin for a letter just to progress. I don't know. I'll show you the spinning, and then I'm not going to finish the game. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention was that red tile that the computer revealed, the red E. That means that it's an intersection. So he knows. Okay. Reveal a row. Oh God. And I think like you end up. Yeah, you get all the tiles. They're all going to go into effect. Also, it is awful when that happens when you're on the receiving side because you're still like, wait, I have to remember, and it's going to be a while before my turn. Yeah, these are interesting. I don't have anything like this in my clone. Oh my god, losing points. Okay, sure, reveal more stuff for the perfect memory computer. No, lose more points. Got a vowel tile. I get to reveal something. Oh, lose my safe. Lame. It is still my turn. Okay, we'll try to take advantage of this with my bad memory. Reveal a row. This one. I saw a thing. It was up here. I mean, that is good information because this probably connects. But it doesn't connect. But we still get to keep going. So I don't remember if this game does this. I don't know if they ever have two-word clues. So I don't think that's a space between two words. I think that's just two words who happen to be arranged that way. In my game, I'm pretty sure because I remember in my game making the conscious decision, like, I don't want that to happen. It's annoying when it looks like, ooh, I almost rolled a bankrupt. That's why you should save those save tokens. N? Okay. Anyway, this game is slower. I'm going to stop playing at this point. I think we get the point. Oh, sorry, I never like explained how you win this freaking game. I'll talk about it when I don't have this timer because this timer. How do I get out of here? Let's close DOSBox. Um, the whole thing, and I'll just show you in their screenshot they've got somewhere. You're finding. Oh, maybe because here's that's just a phrase, and they put spaces between. So maybe they do it. So anyway, you're looking for what is the common like theme. Um, Interesting statesman. And you have something else I didn't mention. Each side has the same words, but they're in, you can see they're in different orders. I mean, veni, vidi, vici, I forget what all the vowels are. Veni, vidi, vici, and I forget what it even means. I'm like familiar with the phrase, but I don't remember anymore. Um, what is that though? I associate it with yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm stupid and I don't remember anymore. This was like something everyone learns this in high school or something. But anyway, both sides have the same things. They could be in different orders. In this case, this phrase is so long that you couldn't fit it, many places, and ended up being on the same row, which is funny. But you can see here, statesman is up here. But what is this? Crisis, maybe something. Um, so anyway, you're looking for the common word or phrase or something that connects all of these. They had a little more variation in Lexi-Cross for what those solutions could look like and a slightly different way of revealing them. I decided to simplify it. Most of their puzzles followed one kind of scheme, and then I felt like like maybe 60% of them were one scheme, and then within the other 40%, they were divided up among these other kind of different types of tiles or puzzles types that you saw less often. And it was all about revealing letters in this way, but I just felt that that was a little confusing. So for my game, I simplified it. I basically only have one. I think I have a couple exceptions for that. So anyway, let me show you my game. I'm going to run it here. And actually, let me disable the Steam integration because I want to show something. I think maybe the better place to do it will be here. Yeah, let's comment this out. We won't do the Steam stuff. So that I can just run the game. Because otherwise it will restart in Steam because of the DRM protection. Um, this game is coded so when it starts up, it says, hey, if I'm not in Steam, restart it in Steam. Like you have to have Steam to run the game. Um, and part of that is there's the achievements and everything tied in. But the reason I want to run it that way, oh, I don't have any of those hints. Okay, I thought there was going to be more debugging information. Oh, I bet it's in release build. Let's do debug build. Okay, yeah. We'll get a little more information this way. But it shows some other extra information that I just want to show as a little behind the scenes for how this game works. Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to show you the puzzle thing, but all the puzzles are in this plain JSON file. You could go look at this and see all the puzzles. And they're just there in plain text. You could edit them yourself if you wanted. Um, I'll turn down. I've got a slightly different theme for mine, obviously. Yeah, it's like this weird modern thing, but there's a fairy, and I mean, I'll show you the game board. I went kind of funky. I was like, what kind of world did I build here? I don't know. Don't think about it. Um, but anyway, so the puzzles in mind, and maybe I shouldn't have had this running because now the sounds are going to distract me. Um, in this case, this information for me is telling me that it has looked at all my puzzles, it loaded up all the puzzles, and it's like, hey, look, the word hall is a solution or is a hint in these puzzles. So there's a puzzle with a solution pool, a puzzle with a solution city, and a puzzle with a solution town. And in each of these puzzles, there's a bunch of words. So like town will have the word hall, but it might also have, oh God, I can't think of what are some other things that might go in town. Now I'm blanking. Pool. I mean, pool might be like ball, right? Or like other things, or I don't know, floaty device. I don't know, whatever. There's going to be a bunch of pool, but and pool hall, right? Pool ball. I don't know what else is going to be. Chlorine. I don't know. Probably not. But they usually complete a theme. Um, so So this what the I'm explaining this terribly, but what this does at the start, and because I want to show you a puzzle, and then but I don't want to reveal all the puzzles in the game. Let me see if I can just pull up one on screen. Let me see if I can scroll. Can I like that's specifically on the new. You know what? It'll have to do. If you're going to see spoilers. If you don't want to see, cover your eyes. Okay, so here's a few puzzles. So here's check. That is one of the solutions. And words that you will find on the board then are box, up, mate, list, mark, sum, right? A checksum. Well, I mean, that's a little computery, but that's okay. We all know what check marks are. A blank check, well, that's okay. Now that's old school. So it's different clues might be picked up by different populations. That's okay as long as we have enough that are most people are going to know. Double check, check it out. Check, please. Like whatever. So these are all the things, the words that you will find, and these are to tell you that the solution is check. What this does at the bottom here, and I'll close the puzzles now here. The puzzles are closed. You can look again if you were covering your eyes. Um, what is down here then is it has gone through all these and said, hey, hall appears as a word in these three different puzzles. Well, you could flip that around, Ben. You could make hall be a puzzle solution and have these be clues, and then maybe I would need to find other clue words, but those are to fill it out. Um, so that's just a little like extra information I gave to myself where it could find. Once I had lots of puzzles going, I realized, oh, I could just have it identify these for me. So that's only when I have this debug build does it spit out that information. Um, there's other constraints too. So as I mentioned, you could go into the puzzles and make your own puzzles, but they have to have enough words or else it won't include them in the puzzle set, and it would output this thing here. It would say, hey, there is this puzzle, but it doesn't have enough words, so I'm not using it. So anyway, let's create a person just to show you my character creation. That's kind of weird. Yeah, you got some different head shapes. You can choose colors. So I did a little more stuff. I mean, it's easier for me. Their game is 256 colors. I stuck to 16. Um, I don't know. Sure, some green guy. I don't know. I mean, I'm not actually gonna make a character. Oh yeah, you can change the height. Um, you can get really silly with it. But I've got characters. I'm gonna play as yeah, I like Goat Girl. She looks fun. I don't know. Can't sum more than. I mean, that's a real web limited. That's funny. It's like yeah, that's a real computer thing. So yeah, I've got I guess random things after all, but I don't have occupation. I guess those were a little jokey. So there you go. There was something. So reveal words and discover their common theme. Let's go. Oh, because I did a debug build. So this is telling me something about the AI's internal state. Again, this only shows up for me in debug build. So he really wants to reveal tiles right now. Um, okay. And I think there's a little random noise that gets added on. But mostly it's, yeah, I mean, this is how I mean, yeah, that's interesting to talk about the AI logic. So, um, right, they don't have to add up to 100 or anything. It's just some numbers, right? So the reason that he extra wanted to reveal tiles is because the computer was like, oh, I have a line that isn't terminated with some kind of empty spot. I should be revealing tiles to find those. So that's extra weight on the reveal option. And then as more tiles are placed on the board that and they don't have letters on them, he's going to have more inclination to spin. And it is also based on my board as well, some of the stuff. The computer, though, is very bad at playing. It doesn't look at, as I mentioned, that you're trying to make a theme and you both have the same words on your board. So if the computer gets way ahead and and is revealing words that you haven't revealed, well, you know it's the same puzzle, so you might be able to solve the puzzle just by looking at your opponent's board. The computer in mine is not smart enough to do that. That is one of the things that it doesn't do well. Here also we can see the horrible big hair covering things. Why have I done this? Um, Also, the sound isn't that good. So again, talking about AI making games now, I would 100% go for AI generated music. It's so good. The quality is incredible. Um, I don't. Yeah, unless you can make music yourself or know someone who can, or have worked. I've worked with a musician before, and I've reached out to him. He's too busy with other stuff. Fair enough. Um, for Mysterious Space, yeah, DDR. Yeah, yeah, he makes incredible music. If he's accepting, if he'll take the work, I would absolutely recommend him. Um, but yeah, anyway, AI music also a great resource. It takes time. I mean, I think I mean, that's a thing. As an individual, if it has to only be you, like you're gonna spend time even using an AI to make music to get stuff that fits a theme. Like every song that comes out is gonna be quality, but is it gonna fit the mood you're going for a particular whatever? Is it going to be consistent enough? Like these are all good questions, and the answer is going to be no sometimes. And again, it's going to take time. That's time you could be spending programming. So I think if you're any size team, it's worth having a musician so the programmers can program and the music people can music. Um, but yeah, for just me, 100% I'm going to use AI music from now on. Or if uh, now I feel a little awkward name dropping him, but yeah, I'd pay him again. His music is incredible. Um, but you know, he's got his own life, so so do I. You can't pay me to program. I mean, you can. That's what work does, but I'm not going to do it for someone else, right? He hopefully he's making music for work. Um, doesn't have the energy for it. Yeah. So yeah, don't pay me to program your thing for me unless you're my full-time employer. Hi guys, I like you. I do. I really do like my current job. Everyone there is lovely. Um, but yeah, no one else. I don't have the mental capacity for it. So ask Clot instead. Don't ask me. That's what I'm saying. If you need some programming work. So anyway, what am I doing now? I'm just playing the game. It's so easy for me to get absorbed into this. Sorry. So I should start spitting the spin. So yeah, I didn't have. I was aware that I was missing the strong game show theme of the original game, and I do like that theme. Oh, I got a magnifying glass. Great. So here's my 3x3. Okay, got a plus, a plus. We got a little line, and I saw another. Yeah, it's so much easier for me to remember that. Okay, that's interesting too. So this might be a two-word phrase. Interesting. No. Let's just let the computer go. So yeah, we saw in the original game how you could spin and get a reveal, a row, or a column, and they forced you to do it again. I did some different things. Again, I just wasn't satisfied with the the reveal on column or row because my personal memory sucks. So I did a slightly different thing. Please, okay. Also, I had this gem thing. So in the original Lexi-Cross, after you do 3 rounds, whoever um, won those 3 rounds gets a bonus round, which is a very like Wheel of Fortune thing or other game shows thing to do. But if it's a two-player game, human versus human, it's kind of lame to be like, now I just do this part and you can sit and watch me. Like, congratulations, I hope you're having fun. So I don't have the fourth bonus round. Also, one less thing to program. But instead, I added this concept of gems. So, and I love that I have as much. So there's no timer in this game, which pros and cons. I'll talk about that next if I remember. Um, when the game generates the puzzle, it looks at the letters that appear the least on the board, and among those, so suppose there's a couple letters that only appear twice, and that's the smallest number. Sometimes there'll be letters that only appear once, but maybe it's only twice, and it says, okay, T only appeared twice, maybe so did Q. Well, okay, that's interesting. Well, I mean, obviously it can't be zero. It excludes zero, so there's probably zero Qs. Let's say there's only two Ds, right, and two Ts, and those are the least. It says, okay, I've picked T. That's going to be the diamond letter. You don't get points for this letter, which makes it a good pick because it's only going to be worth 100 anyway times 100. Um, but it's a 50% multiplier if I get it. So let's it's a little risky. Okay. Because I know that there's probably only one. So if I haven't revealed all the words, I might not get it, and then I won't get my diamond. But I did get my diamond, and it would be nice. Here's more things that would be nice to show in the UI. Like I should show the diamonds that I've accumulated, that each player's accumulated. It should be visible somewhere, but it's not. That's silly. I should fix that, but I'm not gonna. Um, I don't know. Like I'm kind of done working on this game. Like I've every now and again I'll add more puzzles. I'm definitely interested in keeping the it running on modern hardware. But yeah, I'm not, I don't know. I've got too many projects. I'm working on so many things simultaneously. Um, no, I won't use my shield. So shields are like safes in the other game, and the reason I'm holding on to one is if you roll a bankrupt, you really want to have that shield. Another magnifying glass. Okay. Well, got a couple of pluses. So anyway, yeah, sorry, as I'm bouncing all over the place, and I should use a vowel. I'm not thinking. I wasn't quite capturing the game show feel of the original, so I added in this crowd, and I thought they were fun. We've got silhouettes of them. I have to not have them cover the names. At least it's nice enough to make sure they don't cover the names, even though her hair covers some buttons. Um, right, or these multipliers, that would be bad. That's a lot of points. Let's try a slightly. I'll try. I don't know. Let's go D. A couple Ds. All right. Because you have point multipliers. That's different from Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune, every letter is worth the same number of points. Bankrupt. What did he say? He said something. Words were covered. Yes, I will use the shield. Now I'm actually a little scared to spin again. I want to get bankrupt. Let's just see if I find any other words. No. Okay. The computer will probably give me the shield back. Yeah. When the computer wants to spin, he will save a shield. Um, okay, I kind of did wonder. You never know. So this is, again, it's also funny that I was complaining at the game for not doing the thing that it clearly does from that other screenshot. They do have phrases with where the spaces mean spaces. I feel like I remember though, again, like I also have made sure that it won't have a space. Oh, interesting. These are probably the same words, so I probably have an A there. Um, I felt like they would have cases that were ambiguous, and I was like, I'm not having that. I don't know. Maybe I could be further misremembering. Maybe there's some other game I'm confused with. Oh, again, okay, let's try P. Wide open. Okay. So what are these words? Sorry, I should be trying to solve this, I guess. Or maybe I should just hop into showing you what the code looks like. Wide open. I mean, is it spaces? Oh my god, that's a lot of points. Well, we could do the W. I mean, is a lot of points. And there were two. It's been so long, I don't remember my own puzzles anymore. What could this be? A something. So speaking of there not being a timer, yeah, I find the timer. I mean, a little stress is good. I understand why there's a timer, and I think the bigger reason to have a timer in the original game, I'm sure there's like it helps for the game show aesthetic, but what I really think it helps for, which is the more important thing, is if it's human versus human, just watching someone sit here and be like, is it, and you have as much time as you want to hem and ha. Am I just thinking that phrase now because there's an AW there? To just sit here and think while the other player's like, can you please take your freaking turn? You know what I mean? So, but I chose not to do a timer against a computer. I don't know. I didn't want the pressure. It feels to me more like it is a puzzle. I don't know. I would consider it a puzzle game. Um, and timers in puzzle games are kind of rude. It's a different kind of feel. I mean, you can do it, but it's a different kind of feel. So I wanted something a little more casual. So I'm trying to think, what is this? I mean, this feels like it would be wide open also as well. But I mean, R and S are both good letters, but it's a lot of points. I'll just go for R. Let's reveal something. Yeah, I still got points. This is interesting. Room, maybe? Bedroom? Uh, no. Wide open and bedroom. B isn't worth enough. It's not line. Was it lime? I wonder. It's so funny. Like I made this game, I can't remember the hints, and I'm wondering, like, is someone watching now? I just want to know. Like it could be like a something. Let me try K. Like a hawk. Snake. Bedroom wide open. I mean, you can watch. I feel like I have enough clues. I should know what this word is, but clearly I don't. And I've got a shield, so I'll keep spinning. Oh, God. Okay, I should use the shield because I don't remember exactly the computer AI. Oh, I can see. Ha, I can cheat. See, what he doesn't want to solve yet. um, but I'm going to pretend I don't know that information. I mean, there's no such thing as snake spaces. What's going on here? Unless it's not snake. It has to be snake. I'm going to spin and do S. If I get a bankrupt, I'm going to be really angry at myself. Thank goodness. Do you know what it is? Why am I stupid? It's a four-letter word. There's a timer. You can't spend forever guessing, and you do get a little hint here. I know it's a four. Oh god, and look, it's covered by the. That's bad. We got a glass shield. What is this puzzle? There's no such thing as a snake room. Something like Jaws, like a hawk. Like a hawk is so interesting too. So I'm sure that tons of people looking have already solved this puzzle now. It's doubly embarrassing because I wrote all of these puzzles in the early days, because the early eyes, snake eyes, sight for sore, bedroom eyes, God, eyes wide open, wide open. Sure, I mean I'm just dumb. Eyes like a hawk. Is that a phrase? Sight for sore eyes. I mean, fair enough. I just totally didn't see that. Well, there you go. How hilarious to lose in my own freaking game where I wrote all the puzzles. But what I was gonna say is that the it was the early days of, like, Chat GPT, maybe 2 or 3 or something. Um, and it wasn't quite good enough to suggest puzzles, but you could tell that it knew what it was trying to do. Every now and again, it would come up with good words, I guess is what I'm saying. So it was like mildly, but it wasn't helpful enough at the time that I was making this game to actually generate good puzzles. So anyway, I'll talk about the code. That's really funny to have lost my own game. Um, I no, that's great. Um, Maybe I could play this with someone else because it is difficult to show the game to other people because I'm like, well, I'm just gonna have to watch you play because it's not fair if you play against me. I made the puzzle, so I'm gonna win. Although there's a great counterexample, maybe I'm not. I mean, chances are though, I'm gonna remember a lot of them. Um, but then that's awkward because then as a puzzle game too, then it's like now you're feeling like me, right? It's like great. Now I've told my friend to please sit here and be observed being stupid, right? Like so then you're asking your friend to put themselves in a bad situation. So yeah, it's a difficult game for me to show to people, but I do love showing to people because every time I show a game to people, I get notes, and I'm sure I have. I mean, I'm curious now to see on my phone. I think this game is too old. Like the phone is newer than the game, so I don't think I still have the notes. I've got a little notepad thing. It's silly. It's not cloud online synced, which I should just get a different one that is. Oh no, here's just some word by word notes. Don't capture clicks if Windows lacks focus. Oh God, yeah, that should be true. CRT filter option. Oh, well, that is in the game. So these notes are so old. I added the CRT filter, so maybe I already fixed the clicking outside. Detect screen resolutions, offer bigger. So that was a funny thing. I showed this game. My girlfriend at the time had a double wide monitor, and the maximum resolution that this game was offering wasn't full screen for her. So I was like, okay, that's easy math. Find out the most we could zoom by and offer that. So I do remember I did that. Replace zoom slider with resolution. Yeah, I did that too. So these are all old notes. Sorry, this is stupid. You can't see this, so why am I even doing this? But um, so actually, all of these notes might be already done. The other note I have is citizen puzzle. So where citizen is a solution. Apparently, I don't know if I ever implemented that. So anyway, I do have some notes on my phone, but apparently they're super out of date. So here's what the game looks like. This is, I mean, we can tell what this are. What is allowed characters? Space 1, 2, 3. So this must be for your name. Where are we? Name character. This is the name character scene. Okay, so yeah, what is this? I'm using C sharp. I mean, this is weird C sharp code to show. This is more typical C sharp code. Um, any language code really. Um, and C Sharp is a very popular programming language because of things like Unity and Godot. I'm using neither of those things. I'm using a funny framework, an old framework, but still kind of relevant today, called Monogame. I mean, some games have been made in Monogame. Um, uh, Stardew Valley was made in Monogame. Super Giant Games, Bastion, um, Hades 2. They've said they've made their own engine on top of Monogame, apparently. They've got their own custom thing. I'm surprised for a studio that big. I don't know why. Don't use monogame is my general advice. Like it's such a unless you're a team full of just like 100% engineers, which is what I am. Like that's who monogame is for. It's for people who are software engineers. It's not for people who are trying to make games. If like casual, like I would recommend if you've never made a game before, pick up RPG Maker, right? Especially if you don't know how to program, get RPG Maker. You can have way more success. You don't have to make a JRPG in it. That's what's like presumably for, but you draw a map, you can make a little exploration game, you can make little mysteries, people make horror games in it, you can do all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's more constraints, you can't do everything, but if you've never programmed before, just operate within those constraints and you can do a lot. And I think that RPG Maker does a good job at kind of nudging people toward like naturally you'll want to learn to program because it uses JavaScript under the hood. There's a whole plugin ecosystem you can get into. You could start tweaking plugins. I think if you like are interested in making games and you know that you would be cool to learn programming, but you don't know any yet, RPG Maker is a great entry thing. I think that would be my number one recommendation. But anyway, I use Monogame, and I use Monogame, as I said, because I'm an engineer, and I like the C# language. It's a very good language. And actually, it's part of what makes why am I not using Unity when I'm saying don't use Monogame, use Unity or something instead. Also, I would say, um, especially as a studio, I really would love to know Supergiant Games why they use Monogame. It might be historical reasons at this point, um, but Unity is using an old janky version of C# because Unity is older. C# wasn't always cross-platform and open source. Now it is. Um, and yeah, and it is open source. If Microsoft totally dropped the ball or somehow, I don't know, went under or something, someone else could pick up the language. Probably another big company like Unity who depends on it, right? They'd be like, oh God, well, we still use this and need this. We're going to keep it going. Um, that could happen. I mean, it's probably not going to. I don't think Microsoft, I don't know, companies are always doing huge layoffs. Microsoft's doing fine. So they'll probably keep developing the C# language for a long time. They've also recently, um, it's very interesting to see. I just find this stuff so fascinating. So a lot of how C# has been developed has been very performance focused because and cloud focused, web focused because they want to then push people to use Azure, right? Their cloud. That's where they make money. C# is free. You can get the compiler. You can get IDEs. It's all free. You can make whatever you want, right? This is all free. I don't pay Microsoft anything to make my game. Um, but they again are really optimizing for web, saying this is great for web, it's great for cloud, it's going to be really efficient, so that's going to make it cheaper for you to run, right? Save 10% money or on your cloud hosting fees by using C# compared to some other language, right? Or probably more than that if it was compared to PHP, which is another big popular language. Don't use PHP, use C#, way more efficient. And also for many other reasons, I would say don't use PHP. But um, they have put a lot of effort into making the language very good, and Monogame just isn't caught up to it. Or sorry, not Monogame. Monogame, you can use it. Unity isn't. Godot, you can use modern C#, great. But Unity, you still can't. And they say they're trying, but they've had, I mean, if you know anything about the games industry, you know that Unity has gone through some crazy times recently with, doing bad shit to their customers and then oops, it turns out that didn't work and they were appropriately punished financially. Or, capitalism worked in that case and said you're doing bad decisions and they paid for it and now they've redone some things. So whatever, the focus wasn't on, they've had this like for years been saying, oh, we're going to migrate to the new C#, but it just hasn't been a focus for them. My hope is that it is going to be a focus for them again because they're really trying to be more developer friendly and that would definitely be a developer friendly move. So hopefully that effort's revived, but I haven't been keeping up on it super hard. Um, Other than my just general, I watch some I don't know, game dev stuff. So anyway, I use C#. A couple other things I happen to have not liked about Unity. That's the other game framework I've tried a lot. It's really hard to pass data from scene to scene. You have to, and I say really hard. It's like, well, you just set up this one instance thing. It's like, no, no, no. If you've done programming anywhere else, that is absurd, bananas, garbage nonsense of what you need to do in Unity to pass data from state to state. It's not software engineering. That's not architecture again. So I don't know. As someone who cares about good code and architecture, I find Unity very frustrating. You don't have to have those things though to make a good game. And that's actually something I feel like I should say more and I should have said sooner. Um, you don't have to have good, don't be embarrassed if your code is bad. If you have made a game that people like, that is what matters in the end. That is truly what matters. And that's why, like, Undertale is a great example. They used Game Maker. Don't freaking use Game Maker to make a game, would be a general advice. But, like, at the same time, but if that's your skill level and it makes sense to you and you're like, I get it and I'm effective with this and I can make something and people will care, then do it. Use whatever will make you, the product that you want to make or for whatever reason. If it's just for fun, if it's because you want to make a game to blow up, um, yeah, it doesn't matter. And I don't know, there are lots of people online who will try to make you feel bad for writing bad code. Um, and I do care a lot about code, but yeah, like at the end of the day, it's not the most important thing. So anyway, but I care about good code and architecture, so I made my own little framework on top of my own game called Play Play Mini. So these are all kind of these on the left here. These are conceptually equivalent to a scene in Unity. I don't remember what they call them in Godot. It's probably scenes. Um, but I have dependency injection, which, oh my God, why can't we have this in Unity? Don't tell me there's a package for it. I know there's a package for it. Also, oh my God, why are we not using NuGet? Don't tell me there's a package that you can use in NuGet on Unity. It barely works because we're using a janky version of C Sharp. Like everything C Sharp has, or everything that Unity has C Sharp related is just so janky. And as someone who uses C Sharp and knows C Sharp, I find Unity, it's too frustrating for me. I'm too much of a software engineer. I'm too much of a software architect. So anyway, we've got dependency injection. It's great. What does that mean? So if we check like edit character, let's see where we, this is kind of a weird way to search for it. But when I want to change, so this GSM game state manager, this is something provided by Play Play Mini, and it's responsible for the general flow of the application, including changing from one scene to another, or what I've called states, because it is a state machine that's happening here, which is a programming thing. But maybe I should have just said scene because that's what people know. I don't know. If I cared to try to market this thing, I would probably call it scene, but I don't. I made this for me. It is a NuGet package that you can get. It's free. It's open source. You can check it out. You can use it if you want. If you have suggestions, that'd be super cool. One guy made a pull request. I thought that was neat. Oh, and someone else made the same girlfriend I was talking about before. She did a pull request. So a couple people have done pull requests. I think literally a couple. Um, but anyway, but at the end of the day, it is something I'm making for me. And I'm not too worried about it being like whatever. But anyway, what happens? Right. So we say I want to go into this edit character state. Um, and again, if we look at edit character, if you know anything about programming, here's the constructor. It requires like all these things. What are all these things? How does it get them? And this is where dependency injection comes in and is super useful. It's just a way to manage dependencies. What does this edit character screen need? Well, it needs the fairy. That's a little fairy that we see running around, hopping from cursor to cursor. And I don't know if you noticed when I was playing the game, but as we move around from scene to scene, her position is memorized and she kind of flies from, zips around from location to location. But it's always I don't necessarily want to say fluid motion, but she never teleports from one location to the other on the screen. It's this fluid motion, and that's because it is this her data is managed in this class, which is registered as a service. That's what you would call it in a dependency injection kind of context. And I'm going crazy with programming terms. I'm sorry, but we can see, right? She's got an X position and a Y position. I always hate X because it sounds like the word X position. But anyway, target X. Where is she moving? Will she be facing left or right when she gets there? What is she facing now? Um, Float. That must be because she has a little up and down float. I assume is what that is. Um, Animation. I don't remember. That's not a great variable name because I don't remember what it means. But I guess it's just an animation timer and a float timer. So these just count up through time. Interesting. I decided to whatever needed to move more fast. So anyway, this manages everything about the fairy, right? And it's in this nice reusable place. That's true. We can do some more modern C Sharp here. I'm not gonna we'll leave that alone. Um, but this manages everything about the fairy, and you might do a in Unity that would be like a prefab or something. But again, if you want a prefab to maintain from scene to scene, that's awkward how you do that in Unity. And Unity, please just get dependency injection. Um, that's what we use here. Again, if you don't know much about dependency injection, the point I wanted to make when we were looking at the other code, yes, it is. It's here. When we change into that edit character, we never knew up this, if you know programming, you'd say new edit character. You might expect to have to do that. It's like, well, but this requires all these things. Where am I going to get all those things? That's the wonderful thing about a dependency injection framework. You don't worry about it. You tell that little framework, and I'm using AutoFac, which is an open source. Um, Maybe I'll talk about why I'm not using Microsoft's, but whatever. Um, you just tell it all the classes that will be involved in dependency injection, right? What are all the classes that might be required and might be requiring things? And you say dependency injection, these are all of them, be aware. And then as you switch around and make new ones, it says, I've got you covered. I know that what it needs and I'll get it for you. It also tracks whether or not this is going to be a singleton or something that's made per request. So game states are a good example of something where every time you switch into a game state is a brand new one. There's not a single instance of edit character that we're always going back to. Every time we switch to edit character, it's a new edit character screen. But the fairy, again, the fairy is registered as no, there's only one. There's the one fairy, she zips around the screen, and that's you can configure that, which ones are going to be ones that you need new instances of and which ones, like the database, another good example. There's only the one database. All of your save game, by the way, all the information on your character, the high score table, which we didn't see, and also has some funny problems in its UI. Um, all these things are stored in a little database on your hard drive, which you could go look at. It's super tiny. Database maybe sounds huge. It's tiny. There's not much data to the game to save. But the fun thing, because it is, you could go edit it. It's just a standard thing. Again, I don't try to encrypt it. Kind of like the puzzles. You can go into the puzzles and mess with them if you want. You could go and like edit your high scores and lie to your friends and talk about what a great word by word player you are. If you want to be a bad person. But if you want to do be you can there are non-bad things you could do. Um, so anyway, yeah, dependency injection framework is great. The other thing that is difficult, I find, with Unity, which again, you can do it, but it's a pain in the ass, is passing data into a new scene. You say, hey, I want to load up this new scene, but here's some particular information I want. Again, you'd make these weird like singleton things, and it's like this is not software engineering. Um, so I allow config objects we pass. And this is the edit character config. It gets passed an instance of the character we're editing, and the state we just came from, the new game state, so that we can go back there. Um, and actually, I think this might be no, that's it. I don't know why I did that because we only go back to one. I guess just to save it. So as I mentioned, every time we go into a game state, like edit character is a brand new one. Same for the new game state, but I'm remembering it by passing it in so we can switch back so that we remember cursor position and all these other things. So that's just a way of preserving what is the state of the UI on that new game scene. I'll call it a scene. Um, but what was the thing? Yes, you can pass data in this way. And then the reason I mentioned I'm not using Microsoft has their own dependency injection framework, but I'm using AutoFac because they let you. Right. The only reason I'm allowed to pass this in, this is not registered with the dependency injection container. This became super technical. If I cared about making YouTube videos, this is where like, I'd watch the like view where do people drop off. People dropped off like half an hour ago when I started talking about this shit. So it's okay. If you're still here, maybe you're still interested. Um, with AutoFac, you can say, hey, dependency injection container AutoFac, I want you to do your thing. I need an edit character, from my point of view, asking you, I don't know if there's only one instance, if you're going to make a new one. I don't know. I don't care. I just need one. So give it to me. I don't know what its dependencies are. So just give them to me. But just in case, if anyone asks for an edit character config, here's an instance of it for you. And that's something you can do with AutoFac that you can't do with Microsoft's DI. I found, I don't think I can't remember if I asked and someone responded or if I found a post where someone else asked and someone responded. But anyway, this is a feature that Microsoft is like, yeah, we don't have that. That's kind of niche. We're not interested. If you really need all those kinds of extra crazy features, use a different dependency injection framework. So I do. I use AutoFac, which is a good one. And AutoFac was super popular. It was kind of like one of the big ones before Microsoft made their own. So it's still hanging in there. Every time Microsoft makes their own implementation of an open source library, it does have a tendency to, if not kill that open source library, it certainly reduces the interest because for a lot of companies and a lot of people, it's just easier to say, just use Microsoft. So we don't have to worry about it. We trust Microsoft. They're going to do something, they're not going to make something that crashes our shit, especially since they're trying to say, and come host on us, right? They want your software to work. Um, Whereas when it's, some guy made a package like me, right? Like Play Mini, no company's going to like use a package by Ben Makes Games and be like, who's this Ben guy? Like whatever. Um, yeah, it's just easier for companies to say just use what Microsoft has built in. So, but anyway, AutoFac provides this feature, so I'm using AutoFac. There's probably other ways I could do the same thing and use if I wanted to use Microsoft's. I mean, a nice thing about using Microsoft's built-in thing for me too is I don't know what's going to happen to AutoFac, and it does come with all this extra stuff I don't need. Microsoft's is a little slimmer. Maybe I should just make my own, but um, it's fine. AutoFac is good. I like it. It generally works, and it generally works. That sounds a little dismissive. It works. It's good. And it has this feature that I happen to need, which I hide a little bit. Again, if we go back here, so when I ask to change state to edit character, it won't let me do this without passing config. This edit character game state has said, no, I need an edit character config. That's what I have been programmed to need. So now I don't have to remember as a programmer What does it need? Oh, it needs an edit. I can go and look. Oh, it needs one of these. Fine, you can have one, and then that will also require me to pass one in. So I have to pass the data it requires. So again, this is like Microsoft is big on this. They talk about pits of success. As a developer, they want you to just naturally be forced into doing the right thing. And that's a great thing about strongly typed language and statically typed languages in general, and why, like, when I'm like saying, I don't know, like, lots of reasons not to use PHP, that's one of them. PHP does not create lots of good pits of success, and that's by the language design and the feature set available. It's not a strongly statically typed language. It's very easy to just do the wrong thing. Whereas in something like C Sharp, you have generics and stuff that let you do restrictions like this, like, no, look, you can't do this. You're not allowed to do this because that scene needs some data and you're not allowed to go further. And that's something that I can enforce in my framework because C Sharp has the features that let me, even do that. So again, this is where like the software engineer uh, architecture brain of Ben kicks in. So anyway, I don't know. I could talk about more stuff forever. There's more funny things. There's lots of silly. Again, there's some things that aren't great about my own game. I'm happy to admit that. Someone gave the game a thumbs down, uh, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's because it's not my job. And I can't. As one person, I've got so many projects. I can't do all the things. I just have to pick and choose. I could fix some of the stuff I was talking about in this game, but then that means I wouldn't be doing, I don't know, making this video or doing some other project or hanging out with friends. We all have to be social. We've all got lives. So anyway, it is what it is. I'll continue to make games, and I mean, it also just depends on how popular it became. There's a little bit of a chicken and egg situation there, but like if word by word, you know, for whatever reason, if a wonky remake of a wonky old DOS game popped off and became crazy popular, then I would fix these things because then it'd be worth it. But when it's just like it got two whole, reviews or whatever it is, I forget what the number is. It's like it's like I can't commit my time for that. There's other projects that I have that do have more people. I have Poppy Seed Pets has hundreds of players, so uh, yeah, I'm gonna fix Poppy Seed Pets issues before I fix word by word issues. It's just that's the life of being a solo developer. And AI again helps there a lot too. Something I've been playing with that again this game predates that, but just and maybe I should try that with word by word. Make a bunch of tickets of the issues I know, right? Right, describe all the issues, and then just say, Claude, you find them and fix them. Because Claude AI, Claude Code, is very good at doing that. It's very good at programming. It is startling. I could probably just give it all the issues, and then literally while it fixes the issues, I could be doing anything else, right? Right? Great. It's kind of like having two developers. So that's something I could play with to make the game, fix up some of those issues. But we'll see, we'll see. I mean, it still takes time to do this, but I'm doing this, and this is related to the game, so whatever. I mean, you get it. Life is life. There's a million things. Anyway, I hope that was interesting. Thanks for watching. This video became one whole hour. Please give this funny article a look. I mean, yeah, it's fun. I don't know, fun bit of game history. It was fun to see someone else talking about this game that at least I knew from my childhood. You can find this game online. It's out there. Give it a play. It's a funny game. Um, yeah, I had a legit copy as a kid. It's funny. I guess I didn't manage to move that from computer to computer. But I mean, even the demo, as I recall, the demo only has it either has a very small number of puzzles or literally only one puzzle. And I don't want to say what it is because I remember that's burned into my brain too. Um, although who knows, I misremembered some other things. So, but yeah, no, it's a funny game. It's really interesting. It's so unique. I really like unique weird stuff. That's also bad for making something super popular. Is I like the unique weird stuff that most people don't. I don't know. That just by definition means it's not gonna be the thing that most people want. Um, yeah, it's a fun weird game. Uh, I made a funny clone. It's 50% off right now if you're interested. And make games. Make your own games. If you haven't played with Claude Code, oh my God, try it out. If you haven't tried Suno or Udio for making music for your games, give them a try. They're incredible. Um, there's a lot of tools out there for creators. Like, I don't know, people talk about those things taking jobs from creators. I have seen it as a tool for creators to create more. Um, but people have different opinions. But I would recommend those tools. They're incredible. They can let you make things you were never able to make before. Here, is this play? See, this feels like a thing where it looks like it's one word, but it's not because this is play, but we don't have general here. So they do allow spaces to be where this is a phrase, but that's not a phrase. Yeah, that's misleading. I made sure to avoid that in my game. Anyway, I'm sorry. That just caught my eye again because I was like, oh no, I said the wrong thing. But no, I'm right in this case. Uh, A2 brute, isn't it? I thought there was an extra letter. I thought there was an S at the end. Anyway, um, thanks for watching. I'm stupid. I failed at all the puzzles, even though I made this game. Not this game, but my funny remake, word by word. Bye. I'm signing off. Bye.